What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Endzone, the show about football by guys that love football. Brought to you by Gym Bag Entertainment. You can check us out on YouTube. You know, it's your boy Craig.
Your boy Ace.
And we have a jam-packed show for you today. We're going to jump right into it and hit the injury report. First on the list, we have Jamison Crowder, the wide receiver from the New York Jets, gets a foot injury. I feel like this guy's always getting hurt. You know, he spent a lot of time on the injury report in Washington. What do you think?
I think he'd be all right. They need him, so let him sit out a little bit, let him rest, and let him bounce back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nothing significant, though.
Yeah, it's just a foot injury. We hope it's not significant. We hope it's not something that keeps ailing him throughout the season, because you are right. They need him to come in and take that number one job. You know, Robbie Anderson is incredible, but he's not number one. Neither is Quincy Enunwa. So they definitely need this guy to step in and help spread that offense out. Yeah. So I agree with you. Next on the list, we have John Ross. Do we know what his injury was? Was it a hamstring?
I think he tore ligaments in his ankle, I want to say. Okay. No. That's John Ross. Something happened to him. I know he got hurt, though.
He did get hurt, but
I'm not exactly sure the injury.
He stayed getting hurt.
Yeah.
He started his rookie season hurt. He got hurt last year. They were even talking about cutting him anyway. But with the next guy we're going to talk about, A.J. Green, being hurt, you know, they kind of needed to lean on John Ross, and so that's going to be an issue for them if he can't return healthy right in the beginning of the season. Yeah,
and they definitely need John Ross due to the simple fact that A.J. Green's hurt, and there ain't no timetable on when he's coming back. Yeah. Because at first they say he was going to be back by the first game, and now they're saying he's going to be out for a little bit. Yeah. I guess he tore ligaments in his ankle, in his left ankle, and
having minor surgery.
Yeah, but now that minor surgery is turning into a major surgery.
Yeah, at first they were saying 6 to 8 weeks, and that he would only miss game one. Yeah. Now there's a possibility. They're saying that, you know, he could be ready by week one, but it could ail him into the season. And when you have an injury like that on your ankle, I feel like that's a similar injury to what he had last year. He came back too soon, and then he got hurt again. He was out for the remainder of the season. This is a guy that you need to make sure is 100% healthy. Absolutely. You know, if it takes till week 3, it takes till week 3. If it takes till week 5, it takes week 5. You don't want to bring this guy back too early, because he's supposed to lead your offense.
Yeah, he's like, when healthy, he's a top-tier receiver in the league. So,
top 10.
Yeah, so I would rather see him sit back and get healthy. Don't rush yourself back. First couple games means really nothing.
Exactly.
So come back healthy.
And this isn't a team that I believe, even with a healthy A.J. Green from week 1, is making the playoffs. I feel like there's too many strong teams. I did have them as a possible team to steal a slot, but that's just hopeful thinking. Yeah. I think that now is the time that they need to be looking into possible signing some free agents to cover this time lapse of the injury. Yeah. Next on the list, you know, this is big. I feel like it's big news, even though it seems to not be as serious as they made it out. Tyreek Hill with a quad injury.
Did you see how he got hurt, though?
No, I did not.
He was catching a pass, and the linebacker came downhill and hit him. Yeah, so.
Oh, is that when the dude who said it was a light touch?
Yeah.
Was it love tap?
Love tap, yeah. But, you know, that's just coming from being out for a while. You know, you gotta get back to norm. So.
And at the end of the day, it is football.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a significant hit or, you know, a dirty hit to get hurt.
I think he'd be all right, though. You know.
Yeah, I mean he's looking to play. They're saying it's a minor quad injury, that he should be right back to training camp in no time, and miss no time at all. So that's promising for all of you fantasy owners out there. Don't be afraid to draft Tyreek Hill, but he'll probably drop around unless some more better news comes about. A lesser injury, RG3. He hurt his thumb, dislocated it or whatever. Not really that serious, seeing as how he is the backup. So that's okay. But Derrick Henry, we said that he also sustained an injury. And what do we got going on there?
I think it was like a calf injury.
Okay.
That's a big boy. Yeah. So, you know, he gotta rest up. He gotta rest up, get that good treatment, and come back, because without him, they're really in the gym.
Exactly.
Because Mariota can't do it all by himself.
Nope. And Dion Lewis is not an every down back.
No.
So, yeah, they definitely have their work cut out for him here. Possibly missing 2 weeks. But, conditioning is everything in the NFL.
Yes.
That's why you have some players, some players get lucky and they just don't catch that bad hit. But a lot of players not getting hurt because they're staying on their conditioning.
Yeah.
Strength and conditioning is everything in the NFL, and smart play.
That's it.
You talked about it before. Leonard Fournette, he needs to run smarter, not harder, and that's the reason why he's getting hurt.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry needs to adopt this this scheme as well. So we'll see what happens. Injury and suspension alert. The New York Giants just got flushed down the toilet. They literally have one wide receiver and a tight end that can actually play this season. So Golden Tate and is it Corey Shepard?
Corey Coleman. Sterling Shepard.
It's not Sterling Shepard.
Sterling.
No,
Shepard.
I'm telling you, I think it's like it's not Sterling Shepard that got suspended. They have two Shepards on their
Russell
team.
Shepard.
Russell Shepard. Thank you. I knew you had it.
Yeah.
So Golden Tate, Russell Shepard suspended for using banned substances. Golden Tate believes that he has a case to beat this suspension. I don't know about Russell Shepard, but Golden Tate believes he can beat this. And Corey Coleman is out with an ACL. He's out for the season. What do we think about this? What does this mean for?
Well, I feel like Golden Tate is not going to beat it because it's PEDs.
Yeah.
So that's performance-enhancing drugs.
Yeah.
So he's not going to beat that. But a lot of times people take different supplements and stuff, and sometimes those type of supplements is banned in the NFL, and that's how they get caught up. But it's kind of like you got to know what's a bandit and what's not.
Yeah.
So that's no excuse for them. But their receiving core was Sterling Shepard, Corey Coleman, and Golden Tate. All them guys is out. 2 injuries and then a suspension. So that means that number 3 receiver, they don't have one. They don't have a number 1 receiver, which was between Golden State.
Is Sterling Shepard injured? Because I thought he was healthy.
He's injured.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So
he's
all
injured.
all four of their wide receivers are either suspended or injured.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Yeah.
So they gotta run the ball.
So think about it like this.
Yeah.
You go to practice. Then your whole receiving core is injured. That means Eli, which is QB1 right now.
Yeah.
He's basically working with second team receivers.
Practice squad receivers.
And then you got the other guy there, the QB.
Oh, Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. He's basically working with guys that ain't even gonna make the squad.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, when these guys do come back, they're going to be so far behind on chemistry-wise, it's going to be tough to catch up.
Yeah.
I don't see the Giants winning probably their first 4 or 5 games.
Do we see him winning any game? Because I know with this happening, I now change. I said that either the Giants or the Washington Redskins would go 0-16, and now it is the Giants. The Giants are not going to beat Washington, and I think they go 0-16 with this. I have 3 names for you, Giants. You need to just go out. They already did work out Kelvin Benjamin, so that's a start. Grab him.
That's like a tight end playing receiver though, and no telling how healthy he is.
Beggars can't be choosers, so you gotta do what you gotta do. Des Bryant, Pierre Garçon, and Jermaine Kearse. You need to call all those guys up. Say, listen, we're gonna give you a 16-game contract.
Yep.
We need you to come in for the season. You might get cut halfway through if our guys come back and do well, or you might just be our new roster of wide receivers.
Now let me throw 2 names at you.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear about the name Corey Lattimore?
Yes, I know Corey Lattimore. He played for Denver.
Bernie Flowers?
No.
Those are their 2 wide receivers in New York right now. Both of them guys to combine, because I did the math, they have 175 catches for 2,354 yards and over 16 seasons combined.
You know what? At first, I was like, whoa, 102,000 yards between the 2 of us. I thought, we're talking about mad years of play.
Exactly.
Talking about mad years of play. Like, wow.
We don't know those guys.
Yeah, we don't. I know Cody Lattimore.
I know Corey from Denver too.
Yeah, because from Denver, he wasn't like a shining bright star. He had flashes, but that's it.
He's wide receiver 1 right now.
Wide receiver 1. Oof. You guys need to start calling up the free agency. I was saying to someone else that, is it the worst thing in the world to bring on Kelvin Benjamin and play him as a tight end because he's a big boy? If he can't lose the weight, get him in better shape and get him in that fighting shape and play him as a tight end because he's a big boy. He could probably be better at tight end.
But that's if he wants to play tight end because tight end requires a lot of blocking. It's not about all the route running. You got to sit there and block.
You could be a guy like I can't think of his name. There's plenty of tight ends out there that are not good blockers.
Yeah.
They're out there strictly to catch the ball when you're running like a 2 tight end set.
But think about it like this, though. Look at bigger picture.
Yeah.
Look who their running back is.
Yeah.
So
they need the help.
They need that blocking tight end more, so they need a receiving tight end. Because they're not really. They're not going to be a pass first team. They're going to be a run first team.
Right now, run only.
And then with like Barkley. We talked about it, ain't no telling how many licks he's going to take and how long he's going to be good for.
And he likes to take the licks, so this team is looking like not like it's not going really well for them. So, but we'll see what happens. But I can't imagine the Giants winning the game unless they make some bold free agency moves.
Absolutely.
So, we'll see what happens. On to some other scary news, especially for you fantasy owners out there. Ezekiel Elliott still holding out, wants his contract. From what I'm hearing, both sides are about between $2 and $3 million off from what they want. But Jerry Jones says that we don't need a star wide. We don't need a championship running back to have a championship team. And where I agree is you got the best offensive line in the NFL. Anybody can look good back there.
But where I disagree is you do need him. And without him, you're not a playoff team.
I agree.
But only thing I don't like about what he's doing is if you're holding out, cool. Stay out of that, like how we're going to mention it later, but look how Melvin Gordon is doing it. Yeah. He's holding out, but he's staying out the way. Someone like him, he's holding out, but he's in Cabo, Mexico, partying, chilling.
No, he's training. I actually saw that.
So they say.
But that's what they said he was doing even when he was out for 6 weeks. They said he was in. Now, he's training. He might be training, but he's definitely partying. You don't go to Cabo just to train.
Exactly.
So I do agree with you there. But I think he is going to be smart. He's going to stay in football shape because
I'm not saying he's definitely going to be in football shape because even if he's on vacation, he's still going to work out. I'm not saying that he's not working out, but you're in Mexico, bro. You already know Zeke is a potty animal. That's what he do.
Then it's definitely not smart.
And then they're going with their running back one is Darius Jackson, who was drafted by them in 2016. He only had 6 carries for 16 yards. And then from there you got Mike Weber, 7th round draft pick from Ohio State, and then Jordan Chung, 2018 undrafted free agent. And then they got the guy. They
just signed Alfred Morris.
Morris.
And Alfred Morris is familiar with this offense.
Yep.
So that is kind of like a little gives a little bit of hope if Ezekiel.
I thought they was gonna go with Tony Pollard, the running back. They picked him in the 4th round from Memphis, University of Memphis. He went to.
Okay.
I thought they was gonna go with him and give him a chance because he was nice at Memphis. He did well. So I was thinking they was gonna go with him, but their running back situation is scary.
It is scary.
Knowing that
you don't know what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
You do it is hopeful because of the quality of that line, but
the line only gets you so far.
It only gets you exactly. That's 100% true right there. So we'll see what happens. But I have a sneaking suspicion, and Jerry Jones as well has said that he believes that he knows that this is business. This is what they expected, and he believes that terms will be made before the start of the season.
Did you see? I don't know the story too well, but when I was driving in, I got an alert that said that last year Zeke got into a car accident
and they
covered it up.
Yeah,
they covered it up. Now the guy's suing for $20 million.
Yeah, it's
because they were supposed to take care of him and stuff like that. And they said, and he's saying that if it was a bigger accident than what they made it to be, and then if Zeke would have went to the hospital, he would have had concussion protocol where he wouldn't have been able to play in the playoffs. Then the running back coach came and was like, "Oh, we're gonna take care of it. We're gonna take care of you. Take care of your car." And I guess he was and like $45,000 in expenses through like medical bills and his car and stuff like that, and they didn't do nothing.
Wow.
So I'm interested to see how this is gonna play out too with him sitting out, and now there's stuff coming out like it's not a good look right now.
And maybe that has to do with why the contracts is being held up. You know, he's proven more time and time again that maybe he's more trouble than he's worth, and they're saying, hey, listen, if you want us to pay you, you're getting all this trouble. You got to take that. You're not getting Todd Gurley, David Johnson money. You're gonna get troublesome Ezekiel Elliott money. Maybe we'll throw you 10, 11 million a year, but we're not making it. We got to pay Dak, and we got to pay Amari Cooper. So you got. But
you got to think about it. In the NFL right now, running backs is a hard thing to come by.
Yeah.
So if you got someone like Zeke, we all know he's top 2, top 3 running back in the league. So who cares about
There's an argument for number 1.
Dak ain't. I'm not giving him top 10 quarterback in the league, and I'm not giving Amari Cooper top 10 wide receiver in the league.
No.
So therefore, you gotta pay this man because you need this man. You could say
he's the best player on your team.
Yeah, by far. Yeah. So you could say, hey, I'm not gonna pay you this and that, but you're not making it to the playoffs without him for sure. They're gonna have he don't come back,
they're gonna have problems.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna be able to if you can't get that run game going the way he can get it going, you're not gonna get the pass game the way you had it last year.
Exactly.
Because I've always known you need a good run game to get the pass game going, but we talked about right in the beginning of when we first started this show of how important it is, and this was the example we used was this team, was the fact that the reason why Amari Cooper was so good was because of Ezekiel Elliott, not Ezekiel Elliott being good because of Amari Cooper.
Absolutely.
Everybody on that team benefits from him being there. They've definitely got to give him his money, but he's definitely got to get his act together.
Absolutely.
You're a grown man. Yeah.
But then that's when I'm a firm believer, if you got a knucklehead and he's continuously doing bad, then the number one thing you have to do is write things in his contract negotiation, whereas he has to lose out money on this if he gets in this trouble or that. All that should be within your contract, and that will keep him on a straight and narrow path to do well. Other than that, he'd be losing money for doing knucklehead things.
And they usually do have some sort of code of conduct clause in contracts. I think his needs to be a little bit more buttoned down.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with Ezekiel Elliott in the future. But once again, I'll always say, fantasy owners, beware. We don't know how long this is going to play out for. Next on the list is a matchup that seems to be going really well in Arizona, and my boy Ace right here is going to tell you about it.
So my guy Kyler Murray is just bombing it to Larry Fitz. One hand grabs in camp. It looked like vintage Larry out there. And
Really?
He looking good. And Kyler's also looking good too, but, I like him a lot. Yeah. I just want him to stay healthy. That's the number one thing.
It's important.
Yeah. So I like what I'm seeing from, the videos and stuff like that that's coming out with them.
And this offense looks like it's revamping. You know what I'm saying? They're even giving David Johnson saying that this could be his comeback season.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited.
But again, we're saying, like you just got done saying, that's what we always talk about. If David Johnson has a good year and has a good comeback year, that's only going to make it that much easier for Murray. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't know if they're going to run or pass the ball. So they've been trying to beef up their O-line and work on that too. They got subpar defense that they've been building up on. So I'm interested to see how this team will be by week 6 or 7.
I couldn't agree more. I think that I'm definitely starting to believe in the hype that is Kyler Murray. Because
you wasn't believing it.
I wasn't. It's the same way I felt about Baker Mayfield. I need you to prove it to me. Yeah. And for me with Kyler Murray, it's more about his height that gives me pause, and it gives me pause that he was drafted number 1 overall. It's not enough to win games and to be good when you get drafted number 1 overall. You need to bring that next level. I think that he needs to show us something different. He needs to show us that he can lead this team. And he needs to just show that his height is not a disadvantage, but maybe even an advantage, because he can hide behind that line and pop out of nowhere. I think that might be some advantage he might have because of his stature. But we talked about before, until he lost the bowl game, he hadn't lost a single game in his entire life. And that, to me, also can be a negative because you're not used to losing. So what happens when you come to the NFL and you start losing a few games?
Everybody loses in the NFL.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. But there is promise. I love Larry Fitzgerald. We did talk about it. I cannot disagree with my boy when we say that he has literally the best hands the game might have ever seen. So this is definitely a bright light in a team that needs to revamp.
Yep.
And keeping in the same light, we have another matchup in Cleveland that AC also wants to tell you about that's looking really good.
OBJ, man, him and Baker's looking tough.
I knew they would.
Yeah, for sure, because Baker, but you got to think about it. Kyler was Baker's backup. You get what I'm saying? They're from the same dying breed in Oklahoma. But OBJ at practice, I was reading he had 51 one-hand catches on both hands. Boom, boom, boom. Just in a row before he dropped one. He's making good sideline catches. It seems like you can tell, like we talked about before, probably week 2, week 1.
Yeah.
You could tell these guys was working with each other before they went out on this field. You could tell that they had a private workouts. Nobody knew where they was at. They probably was in Cabo, Mexico, working out, doing their thing. And you can see it because, like, it's when you have a great receiver like OBJ and a great quarterback like Baker, you still will have a little bit of chemistry issues, but it looks like they don't have those chemistry issues, and it looks like they're connected on all cylinders. So hopefully they keep up with that, keep on bringing it, keep on being exciting. I'm excited to watch. I can't wait.
I think that the thing I like most about them is they seem like a team. I think I brought this up before, that are just playing street ball. They're out there having, like, they've come to the conclusion that, like, this is the team that can do things, but we can't put the pressure on ourselves. We got to be out there and just love the game and enjoy ourselves, and that speaks trouble for defenses. When you got a team that's out there with nothing to lose, and everything to gain, is dangerous. And when they're just out there to have fun, even more so. So I've always been excited to see what's going to go on in Cleveland, and I think everybody else is going to be in for a show.
The funny thing is like, you heard, like, only thing you heard out of OBJ was he felt like he wasn't appreciated in New York, right?
Yeah.
But now you don't hear nothing from him.
No drama.
No drama, no nothing.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that shows you something.
Yeah.
And not to mention all the dramas in New York where dudes going down, dudes getting suspended.
Yep.
So
the curse of losing OBJ. Is OBJ the new great Bambino?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But
look at that. You haven't heard nothing out that man. Nothing yet because the season hasn't started yet. Well, season just started, but
and the only drama in Cleveland was the drama with Duke Johnson wanting to be traded, and Baker Mayfield had a little something to say about that. But he said the two of them have even squashed that situation.
You don't hear about it.
Yeah, you're not hearing about it anymore. This is a team that is focused on winning games, and that is showing in the media for the lack of media. It's just practice. So that's exciting. Next on the list is Lamar Jackson. I had to talk about this because last season he broke the single season rushing record of 147 attempts. Cam Newton had 139. So he's broke that record, and Harbaugh thinks that he's going to break single season rushing records and rushing yard records. So they obviously have a plan for this guy to run the ball. But now, also, what are they going to do about running the ball? He put on 7 to 10 pounds for durability. What do we think about Lamar Jackson this year?
Well, when you mention Cam Newton, you got to mention Superman. And that season, he had 13 rushing TDs. Like,
really?
Yeah, he had 13 rushing. Wow. The last game of the season, he had 3 rushing TDs, and that's how he broke the record.
Yeah.
He's 5 years in, Cam? 6?
Something like that. It's
5, 6
years.
5, 6 years in, he got 44 rushing TDs as a quarterback. You know what I mean? The body structure is different. Cam's a lot bigger. Cam was taking a hit.
Cam looks like a tight end throwing a football.
Yeah, but when you see him running, people are scared to come tackle him. You get what I'm saying?
Who wouldn't be?
Compared to Jackson, he just got speed. Last year, Jackson rushed for 695 yards on 147 carries, like you said. But he threw for 6 TDs and only rushed for 5. So it's kind of like, do you want this kid to be a running back or a quarterback? Because I always said this, watching him since college, he has an arm.
Yeah.
He can sling. So why not have him run like a run pass option, which is like he has more of a option to run or pass more. And so, oh yeah, we're gonna make sure he breaks these rushing records. Like, rushing records shouldn't even be a question at quarterback. What should be at quarterback is putting up numbers, scoring touchdowns, passing, and then rushing if you're in the 1-2 yard line.
Well, my hope is that they're saying that he's so good on his feet that when the time comes to run, he's going to be running all over people, and I think we saw flashes of that. He showed, but I think it would be a huge mistake for them to not take advantage of the cannon. He had to work on accuracy.
Yep.
I know that was a big problem for him last year, and even in college, his accuracy wasn't necessarily there. He relied a lot on his arm strength. So I'm hoping that the quarterback coach has brought him along to make his passes more accurate. They've put some weapons around him to help with that as well. So that is my hope, that they're not necessarily saying, oh, we're looking to run the ball all day with Lamar Miller, but that his ability to run the ball is so good that when the time comes, he's going to put up yards.
Yeah, but even when you, like you're saying, if he's getting pressured, scramble outside the pocket. But then, I'm like, for me, I always was a firm believer as like quarterbacks that got speed and they're running the ball, don't take hits, run out of bounds.
Yeah. Oh,
you're not bad if you run out of bounds. You get what I'm saying?
Out of bounds or slide.
With him, he tries to extend the play a lot, you know, and that is not a good thing.
Nope.
And that's kind of like what Cam...
That's what happened with RG3.
Yeah, RG3, Cam Newton, same thing. Cam always wanted to extend the play because he had the size. So when you make contact with him and you hit him, he's still going to fall over and get an extra 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah.
But then by year 3, 4, he got smart, whereas the point he'll act like he's going to, and then juke right out of bounce on you. You get what I'm saying? And that's being more smart.
He probably felt the damage on his body. He probably felt that he was getting to a place where, and hopefully, like we said, I hope that Harbaugh has really buttoned down on that. I mean, like, listen, you know, we don't want you extending plays. We want you to slide, and we want you to get out of bounds, because that, like I just said, that was the problem with RG3, is that he wasn't afraid to take the hit, and now he went from being what looked like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL to a backup that you don't even really think that much about.
Exactly.
So, and I think accuracy-wise, he was better than Lamar Jackson. You know, I think he was. He had that Deshaun Watson game. So we'll see what happens with that in the future. But he did, like I said, he put on 7 to 10 pounds to make himself a little bit more durable, so he can take on those hits. But you never know what's going to happen with that. All right, and then so next on the list, and I really like this. You don't really get this a lot from players, but Le'Veon Bell extends a long-awaited apology for fantasy owners who had drafted him last season and got no use out of him. Yep. You happen to have the apology on you, don't you?
Yeah, I got the apology, but I'm gonna read it first, and then I'm gonna say how I feel.
Okay, let's do that.
So he writes, This is long overdue, but I wanted to take a moment to apologize to all the fantasy owners who picked me up last year. I'm sorry I couldn't pull through for y'all. Trust me, this year is about to be way different. I'm bringing he had the championship,
he's bringing the
emoji
ship
this year. So, Le'Veon Bell, I respect what you did. I like that apology, but the only way I'm accepting it, if you go back to, 2013 Bell? That's what I want to see out of him. I mean, 2014 Bell, when he had 290 carries for 1,361 touchdowns, 8 TDs, and he also had 83 receptions for 854 yards and 3 TDs. I will accept your apology if you put up those numbers or close to those numbers. Other than that, your apology means nothing to me. And I like you a lot.
Yeah. So
because I had him last year in one of my leagues, and
me too.
I had to get rid of him.
Me too. I held on for a while.
That's what I'm saying. You held on week by week. By week 6. I think it was like week 6 or 7. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Gonzo.
I will say this. In my league, I did grab James Conner before week 1. Once I knew Le'Veon Bell wasn't playing week 1, I grabbed James Conner.
My cousin actually did that same move in the family league. He had Bell and then he got Conner. I was like, this kid here, you don't even know nothing about this guy. You just took him just to take him.
Yeah, because
he went off.
Yeah, he did go off, and it worked out for a lot of people. So I say this, I respect the fact that he took time out to say, you know what, even though fantasy football has nothing to do with my NFL career, there's people out there who depended on me to get them a championship, and I let them down.
Big money involved.
Big money. And I let them down by not playing, even though I was doing it to get my money.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna say, you know what? I apologize that I didn't help you win your fantasy, and to make it up for you, I'm gonna put up the numbers this year. So I agree with you. If you put up those numbers this year, if you get us the 2,000 plus all-purpose yards, and you get us the 8 to 10 touchdowns, I say, no sweat.
No sweat.
We forget 2018 even happened. We're back on the right path. But if you don't break 1,000 yards, and I'm going to say all-purpose yards, if you don't break 1,000 yards and you don't get into double-digit touchdowns, you're dead to me. So, Le'Veon Bell, it's time to earn the trust of your fantasy owners and your fans by completing a season and coming out, showing out, and being the Le'Veon Bell we know and love. So that's what I have to say about that. And with that being said, we have to move on to a topic that I love to talk about. This week, we wanted to make sure going further that we give you the most focused and most credible show that the two of us can have. And we don't normally meet up and have a conversation. We say we're going to talk about, we come in and we crush this shit, right? But we wanted to make sure we did it right. And I had to let my boy know that in this episode, we couldn't get out of the episode without talking about something having to do with the Patriots. And I want to talk about Tom Brady and how I believe this year Tom Brady is going to go over 4,500 yards. And the reason why I believe that is we have Julian Edelman back. Demaryius Thomas is looking like he might make week 1. Even if he misses 1 or 2 weeks, that's okay. We have Philip Dorsett. Dontrell Inman got signed to the team. And we just added Lance Kendricks. I don't know if you remember Lance Kendricks because he had an offseason when he played for Green Bay, where tight ends go to die. But when he was on the Rams, he was showing out. He had a good season with the Rams, and that's why Green Bay grabbed him. But then they shelved him. They didn't really play him out, and now the Patriots got him. So now we got a good tight end, and then we got whatchamacallit, the other Benjamin Watson once he comes back after the 4-week suspension. Now let's not forget that Brady and Belichick are trying their darndest to get Josh Gordon playing this season. If that happens, it's an aerial attack all day.
I think he's going to be playing this season.
Yeah. That's the best. We're going to have the best aerial attack in the NFL. So how can he not?
The best aerial attack in the NFL, I don't know about that, but I don't put nothing past Tom Brady. At his 19 seasons in the league, he threw for over 4,509 times. So dating back to 2005, he did 4,110 yards. I give him that. That's close enough. 07, he had 4,806 yards over. 09, he had 4,398 yards. Close enough. 2011, I think, is that when he had Randy Moss?
Yes.
He threw for 5,235 yards.
Yeah, he did.
2012, 4,827 yards. 2013, 4,343 yards. Close enough. 2015, he had 4,770 yards. Close enough.
Yep.
And 2018, 4,577.
Really? He did that much in 2018?
I mean, 2017, I'm sorry, 2017.
Okay, yeah.
He had 4,577. In 2018, he had 4,355. So, close enough.
Yeah.
So, I don't put on past him, man.
And
if I was a betting man and take the over and under of this, I would always go over with Tom Brady just because it's Tom Brady.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be the over. I wouldn't be surprised if he hit 5,000 because and we got N'Keal Harry. I almost forgot about
5,000 is asking for a lot.
5,000.
You're asking for a lot right now.
If Josh Gordon returns at any point in time in the season, and I shouldn't say if he returns with at least 8 games left, Tom Brady goes over 5,000. If Josh Gordon does not return, he might just be under 4,500. But I think he has a solid chance with the team that we put together. We have an excellent run game, and don't forget James White catching out of the backfield is magic. So I'm really excited for this offense, and Brady being 42 years old and still being a threat to make it to the Super Bowl is incredible. And there is no denying the GOAT. So was that a I felt like that was a.
That's your opinion.
Oh, no. That's not opinion anymore.
That's your opinion.
That is 100% fact.
It's all opinion.
You gotta say it. No, you gotta say it. You gotta say fact. Tell the audience that it's fact.
I can't tell you that it's fact. I can just tell you it's all opinionated.
Oh man. Okay. I'll let it lie. So then we got to move on to another holdout. This one I think has more implication than Ezekiel Elliott, and that's Melvin Gordon. The holdout of Melvin Gordon might be the more significant holdout of a running back or of a player this season, due to the simple fact that without them, I don't think that they're as much of a threat. Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson are capable running backs, but it's not like you have the best offensive line in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you have the best quarterback in the NFL. You need this run game. He's proven himself, and they're not paying him his money. What do you think?
I agree with you.
It happened. Okay, you saw it.
I feel as though this holdout, his holdout is, Zeke's holdout is worse due to the simple fact is his backups never really got burned or never really played.
That's true.
And I also feel like Phillip Rivers is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. So
okay, yeah.
But Austin Eckler, who you mentioned, he had 106 rushes last year for 554 yards and 3 TDs. He's got burned in the NFL. 100 carries, that's enough to say you got burned in the NFL.
Yeah.
Justin Jackson, he had 50 rushes for 206 yards and 2 TDs. 50 rushes is not a lot, but you could tell he got burned in the NFL. The guys behind Zeke really never got burned in the NFL. So that's the only thing I disagree with is Zeke's is a lot worse. But Melvin Gordon, since 2014, he had 897 rushes for 3,628 yards and 28 TDs. That's unreplaceable, bro.
No.
Again, I feel as though, like you're saying, they're not making the playoffs without him. Pay that man. Because he's by far the best player on your team. So you should pay that man. So I agree with that. But I just disagree with this one's being worse than Zeke's. I think it's backwards because I feel as though even though they have the best offensive line in the league, the Cowboys, they don't have no running back that has lead experience.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
See but that was my thinking is that I feel like you plug a running back into Dallas, I feel like the odds of them doing better, I almost feel like barring experience, because I see what you're saying. The experience is what's going to get them, is giving them the better advantage, but they're running backs. These guys run the ball, and they're running behind, they're practicing behind this line. And what's his name? Darius Jackson has been getting a little bit of praise over in Dallas. I don't know what's going to happen there. I do think that the better backups lie in Los Angeles.
Yes.
They have the better option at backups, but I don't think Austin Eckler or Justin Jackson are every down backs or even lead backs. I think that they're backups for a reason.
And I totally agree on that part. But here's the thing. They've been in that system for 2 years, both of them. So it's like those coaches know what they're getting out of those two guys.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Those coaches know how to put those two guys in a winning position because, as you notice, they already got carries and got burned and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So therefore, they know them guys compared to Jones. You don't really know him. You get what I'm saying?
True.
We're relying on their offensive line, but still, you can have a great offensive line, but that's only holding the defensive line. What about those linebackers coming downhill at you? You get what I'm saying? That's what Zeke was good at. Zeke was good at hesitating and going, or hitting the hole using speed. So even though you got that front five blocking for you, you got a front seven on the defensive end coming at you. That's different. You got to still have that vision and stuff like that compared to, like, if I'm the Chargers coach, I could be like, well, Eckler, I know what he can do. I'm going to line him up here, have him block here, or have him run through this hole because we already had that in-game experience with him. And he's already been in our system for a few years now. So, therefore, I know what I'm getting out of him. You get what I'm saying? Compared to, like, Dallas, yeah, they're praising Jones, but at the end of the day, you still don't know what you're going to get out of him when the lights is on. I mean, Jackson, you still don't know what you're going to get out of him when those big lights come on Sunday. You get what I'm saying? So that's my only difference is that, like I'm saying, like, these guys have experience compared to these guys that don't have experience. And you never know. Like you're saying, you could do what guy in Pittsburgh, James Conner did.
Come in and
I
think James Conner is even the exception to the rule. Like, they already knew. Like, we knew James Conner was going to be a beast when he came in, and that's why they were okay with letting Le'Veon Bell go. I don't think either one of the, like, I think where you're actually more right is that they're more comfortable on the Chargers not playing with Melvin Gordon than they are in Dallas not playing with Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
And that's where I definitely have to agree with you there. There's definitely a huge difference in need for them to play. I just feel like Melvin Gordon is, like, such a big part of this team.
He's that guy for sure.
Yeah, he is that guy. And
I think I
don't think he deserves probably the money he's asking for, but I think it's got to be close.
I think he does.
He got hurt last year. How much is he going to hold up? And remember, if you don't remember, one little, like, tidbit of information: Melvin Gordon's first season in the NFL, he was drafted in the first round. He didn't score a touchdown.
Yes,
his whole first season. So he's had three good years, but ended his fourth year on an injury. He definitely has less of a bargaining chip because he's still in his rookie contract on his fifth year. And they have the option to franchise tag him for 2 years after that. So I feel like he's more under a barrel. But
the thing is, too, is, as you're mentioning, first year he didn't do much. But every year after that, he progressed. He got better and better every year. So now it's like, all right, now I'm to the last of my contract, my rookie contract. Now it's time to get paid, and that's when I got to negotiate for myself. And I think without these two backs getting paid, Zeke is in the same kind of predicament. And without these two backs getting paid, I feel as though their team goes from being B's to C minuses. You get what I'm saying? And that's the best way to describe it because you're talking about two top-tier running backs in the league. They're both top 5.
Yeah.
Him and Zeke is top 5. You can't say they're not top 5 running backs in the league.
Oh, definitely.
You get what I'm saying? So
if Melvin Gordon's not top 5, he's number 6.
Yeah.
So,
but who do you really gonna put ahead of him?
Well, if we're gonna, you got obviously Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon.
But still, Saquon he's still fresh.
Yeah, I'm still gonna. I mean,
you get what I'm saying? He did that for 1 year. Let's see what he does this year, because this year's gonna be his hard year. This year's gonna be his down year.
This is gonna be the hardest year ever.
Now you're gonna be comparing and contrasting. Oh, he did this in 2018, but did horrible in 2019 because it had no receivers. So now we'll be waiting to 2020 to see what he really gonna do.
Yeah.
When you get what I'm saying? Like,
I feel you. I think for argument's sake, I'm just gonna put him in the top 5. I'll even say Ezekiel Elliott, Alvin Kamara.
Okay.
Then Saquon. Then you have Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey is not better than. He's not better
Christian
than.
McCaffrey's better than Melvin Gordon.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
Christian McCaffrey's top 5.
I'm not saying that he's not top 5.
And then David Johnson.
I'm not saying he's top 5, but he's not better than him.
I don't know.
David Johnson is someone who was, like you said, wishy-washy too.
Yeah, he had a bad year last year.
Okay.
But he had a bad
year. So you're knocking my man for his bad year.
But there's a difference. There's a difference. The bad year that David Johnson had was due 100% to coaching. He was misutilized. David Johnson is the best pass catching running back in the NFL and was not utilized at all in the pass game.
It happens like that. You get what I'm saying? Because the simple fact is, running backs is a dying breed in the NFL. So if you have a good one, you got to pay him because you don't know how long he's going to be good for. So that's why these guys is trying to get paid in their good years rather than keep on playing and keep on sustaining injuries 100%. And not get nothing at the end.
100%.
Because right now, we can sit here and say, hey, Zeke's worth $50 million or $40 million. We can say Gordon's worth the same.
Yeah.
But then next year, they could be worth $15-20 million after playing this one season. That's half of what you would get if you really bargain yourself the right way.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like what they're doing is smart by sitting back, chilling, and waiting to see what happens. But at the end of the day, it's like something got to shake for them because we're talking about top tier running backs, like you said, top 5 to top 6 running backs, depending on what your liking is. Because every running back has a bad year.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying?
And at least he got his out right away.
He got his out right out the gate. He got his out, boom, and he's improved for you every single year.
Man.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so that's my only thing about that is like, if I'm the GM, I'm paying him. I don't care. Like, either one of those guys.
I 100% believe he needs to get paid. I think they're just like they want the longer deal, and he wants the shorter deal. And he wants more money than they're offering. We'll see what happens. It's got to play out. We don't know what's going to happen. But I personally, and I know you feel the same, we want to see the man get his money.
Yes.
And I think everybody benefits if he gets his money. So we'll see what happens. Before we jump in, we want to give you the lineup for this upcoming week of football. But before we do that, I just want to quick shout out the Browns honor Hall of Fame quarterback. What's his name? Odo Graham. And just a quick little, he passed for 23,584 yards, 174 touchdowns. He rushed for 44 plus scores in his career. He was also voted All-League in 9 out of his 10 seasons that he spent, and he spent all of them with the Browns. He died in 2003 and was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1965. So just wanted to give that quick little accolade. Yes, thank you for playing the game that we love. We appreciate you. And we got a little bit of time left in the show. We got about 10 minutes, so we're going to break down. We're going to give you the list of games going on this week. We're also going to give you what we believe will be the upset of the week. Each one of us is picking a game, but my man Ace is going to give the rundown.
So we got starting the week off fresh on Thursday. Thursday.
Yes.
We got the Broncos versus Atlanta. That's the Hall of Fame
game.
Yep. And then, so week 2 of preseason, because they consider that week 1.
Yeah.
So this is really week 1, but it's week 2.
Correct.
It's going to be Thursday night games. Giants versus the Jets at 7 o'clock. Jets will beat them down.
Yeah.
Colts versus Bills at 7 o'clock. Falcons playing versus the Dolphins at 7:30.
I'm going to stop you right there. My upset of the week. Miami Dolphins will beat the Atlanta Falcons. Now I know I gave Miami Dolphins a lot of slack. You know, I talked a lot of trash about them, but I've been further looking into this team, and they got the star Albert Wilson. If he's healthy, that slot receiver, he's kind of Tyreek Hill-ish. You know, Tyreek Hill light, if you will. Kenny Stills.
But those guys, you got to understand though, those guys won't be playing.
I think they will.
They play.
No.
They play two series.
No, I think week 1, Miami Dolphins is such a low team that they're gonna come out with all their starters week 1, and I think just to beat the Atlanta Falcons.
What if they get hurt?
They're not gonna get hurt week 1 because Atlanta's not gonna be playing their guys.
I like Atlanta.
I know you do like Atlanta, and I like Atlanta too. I'm just gonna say that it's probably going to be Josh Rosen starting. He's trying to win that starting position. He's going to show out. Albert Wilson, he only played a few games last year. He's definitely going to play. They did sign Allen Hurns. I don't know if he's ready to play, but if he is, he's going to play week 1. And then they're probably going to run their backup running backs. I'm going to say Atlanta is going to play all of their, rookies and, lower rate starters, and I think Miami upsets them. That's my upset of the week.
That's where you're wrong. I like Atlanta due to the simple fact is that's going to be their second game of the preseason.
Yeah, because they got the Hall of Fame game. But I
and then they're going to get their starters a little bit more playing time because, as preseason go on, like the first week you don't really play the starters, only like 4 series. And then second game, a little bit more. Third game, a little bit more. Fourth game, more. Fifth game, more. But who knows? It's preseason. We're just throwing it out there.
This is just us throwing our names in the hat, see what happens. So I wanted to go bold, and I think that would be an interesting pick. All right, let's continue on the rundown.
Pats versus Lions at 7:30.
Patriots.
Jags versus Ravens at 7:30.
That's gonna be a good one.
Yep. Redskins versus Browns at 7:30.
Okay.
That was gonna be my upset.
That was gonna be your upset.
Yeah.
But you chose against it.
No, because I don't know if they're gonna play the rookie.
Oh, they're gonna play the rookie because he's not starting. He's not starting. Case Keenum's getting the start job to start the season.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
Titans versus Eagles at 7:30. Texans versus Packers at 8. Chargers versus the Cardinals at 8 p.m.
Ooh.
You got the Panthers versus the Bears at 8 p.m.
That's going to be a good one.
And then you got the Broncos versus Seattle at 10 p.m. Those are all Thursday games, August 8th. I give you the times.
Wow, that's a lot of games for a Thursday.
Yeah, and then Friday, the next day, 8-9, August 9th. You got Tampa Bay Bucks versus the Steelers at 7:30. You got the Vikings versus Saints at 8. You got the Rams versus the Raiders at 8. You got the Bengals versus the Chiefs at 8. And then you got the Cowboys versus the 49ers at 9.
I almost went with that game.
49ers. Yeah, 49ers is my upset pick of the week.
They're the upset pick of the week. That's a good pick right there.
I like them.
Yeah, I like them too. They have a stable of running backs that they can that they have to test out during the preseason.
And that's what I like. You get what I'm saying? You see how you're thinking, like, okay, they don't have too many stars, so people are fighting for minutes.
Yep.
Those are the teams that I really want to pay attention to, the teams that guys are fighting for minutes, teams that wide receivers is down, so you got to get that burn, teams that got 2 or 3 quarterbacks with a rookie that the rookie can get some shine. Like, those are the teams that I'm really paying attention to throughout the preseason just to see how they adapt. Like, I'm interested to see how the Giants is going to look because you don't play Barkley, and you're going to play practice squad guys at receiver.
Yeah.
And then Daniel Jones is going to be out there. What's going to happen? You going to go out there and get him hurt? Who knows?
I think that's going to be an interesting game, an interesting team to just see how they deal with this. Are they just going to call this season a wash? Because these guys are suspended for 4 games. You're going to start off 0-4, almost 100% guaranteed. You're going to start off 0-4, and then they come back. They're not because they can't. You can't when you're suspended. You can't practice. You can't. I think you can do like workouts, but you can't run drills.
Can't be on the field with the team.
Exactly. So now they're going to come in. They're not synced up. They're not ready to go. And so you're probably going to lose at least 3 more games. And to my opinion, you're going to lose 16 games straight. So now you get that number 1 pick, and maybe you go, you grab yourself, I don't know, a great defensive lineman or an offensive lineman. I don't know, but I do think that
if you get the number 1 pick for them guys, they got to get a receiver over there.
There's no such thing as a number 1 pick wide receiver.
I know, but you got to do something.
You got
to beef up that offense. That defense ain't bad. You know what I mean? Their defense is not bad. Giants' defense is never bad.
Yeah, correct.
They're normally
they're
okay.
Never great, but they're never bad.
Yeah, but I don't agree with getting an offensive lineman. I always agree with a skill position player should go number 1 all the time.
Well, it probably most likely will be a defensive lineman, either an edge rusher or interior guy, maybe even a high level linebacker. But they're definitely gonna have to go defense because there's no. To be honest with you, I don't believe in drafting a wide receiver in the first round. Like, there's very rare, like your Julio Jones and your Calvin Johnsons that go in the first round. Those guys are rare. Like, when's the last time a wide receiver went in the first round and ended up being even a top 20 wide receiver? Like, it doesn't really happen that often anymore. The wide receivers is probably the one position that has to be developed the most in the NFL.
That's because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
That's why teams don't take chances on wide receivers, because out of every position, that's the most That's the most drafted guys. You know what I'm saying?
Even Antonio Brown, I think he was like a 6th round pick, and at one time, and could possibly still be the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL. You know, like he'll always have that potential.
Top 3.
Yeah, he top 3. I find it hard to believe on Oakland that he'll maintain that, but I mean,
he will.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because he
got Carr.
I don't believe in Carr.
You don't believe in him yet?
I mean,
you're gonna believe in him by week 5, week 6.
I'm always gonna come back to Amari Cooper.
Cooper's no AB though, so that's a bad comparison.
But it's not. He's less than AB, and he goes to the Cowboys to a quarterback that's way less than Roethlisberger. And
let's see what Cooper do this year. How about that? Because the Cowboys ain't got your man Ezekiel Elliott, so let's see how he starts off. Let's see how long this plays out.
He's gonna miss games. I don't think he's gonna miss games. I think that the Cowboys.
The season's here, baby. The season's here.
Yeah, but they're not gonna let him miss regular season games. They'll let him miss the preseason games, but they're gonna get that contract done. They're gonna find a way to get Ezekiel Elliott on week 1.
So let me trick you a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Since we got about 30 seconds, a little bit of time. The owner of the team is saying we come in without you.
Yes.
So as a player, how you think that would make you feel? Number 1 thing.
Yeah.
Number 2 thing is, now that this guy is doing some suing, you don't think the NFL is going to look into this and do their own investigation about this?
You could
see
be
what
right
happens.
about that.
So he could be getting suspended. We don't know. That's still up in the air. You get what I'm saying?
That's a dangerous possibility right there.
There you go.
I'm not even thinking about. I mean, I think the accident was known to have happened. It was just the significance of the accident. I think a suspension is less likely. I do like what you said about how does he feel about what Jerry Jones says. And at the end of the day, you're talking about a man who's been owning a football team for many years. He's the most decorated owner in the NFL. Well, Robert Kraft, but yeah. But I mean, Jerry Jones has been doing it way longer than Robert Kraft.
But when's the last time Jerry won something?
You right.
Jerry need to go. That's what I always feel that way about Jerry. He needs to go. Yes.
Really?
Yes. The way he held on to Tony Romo for that long and stuff like that. Yeah, he needs to go.
Yeah, but he's not the GM. He's just the owner.
And he can make that happen.
He can
being the owner.
He can make anything.
He can make those decisions. That's part of him being the ownership. You sit down with the GM like, hey, this guy got to go. We're gonna put some money into a real deal quarterback. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, once they did get Dak, though, they did move on. I will say this.
That was their first time making the playoffs in how many years?
Yeah, you're right.
How many years?
You're right.
People forget about this, right? People always. We got a short time, so people always look at.
We got 3.
People always look at it like this. For the longest time, like, and I used to talk to people about this in Georgia when I lived in Atlanta a lot, right? And this is why they hate the Patriots. A lot of people hate the Patriots, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
And people never look at this. For the longest time, Dallas been American team.
Yeah.
The star and all that stuff like that, they've been American team. Cowboys, that's all Americanized.
Yeah.
But they haven't won nothing in forever. What kid under 30, 35, really deep down inside like the Cowboys? Probably you can count on your hand how many.
Only hometown fans.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or you probably got a couple friends that may like them. Like I got my homie that loves them. But a lot of old school 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s love the Cowboys because that was always America's team.
Yeah, because
they're cheerleaders and all that, and they was always winning.
Yeah.
Nowadays, people hate the Patriots due to the simple fact is they're always winning. Yeah. And now over the last
American than a Patriot.
Exactly. So now over the last, let's say 15, 20 years, the Patriots is America's team.
Yeah.
But they would never tell you, nobody would never say Patriots is America's team because they don't like Kraft. They don't like Brady.
And
they don't like them guys,
Belichick.
They don't like those guys because those guys is winning. But nowadays, and you know me, I'm not even a Patriots fan, but they are America's team.
They are.
So people look at the Dallas Cowboys history and look at them like Jerry Jones haven't won since Dion was there. And Michael Irvin in them, and Emmitt Smith, like, you get what I'm saying? Those was the last guys that actually won something in Dallas and was going to the playoffs. And then they had a stretch of probably like 10, 15 years that they didn't make the playoffs, or maybe 20.
It's been a long
that they didn't make the playoffs.
It's been a long time.
And he's a decorated owner. Nah, bro, you gotta go. You're not good at all.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Something's got to be figured out.
And he talks a lot. Like and the thing about him, he's too
like
into
the leader of the owners association.
Yeah, but what I feel like but he's too into business that he shouldn't be in. Like sometimes I feel like he tries to be the player, he tries to be the coach, he tries to be the GM. Like there's sometimes like a Kraft never gets involved in the players' business. No. He never gets involved in Bill Belichick's business. But I'm sure they be cussing at each other and everything behind closed doors. But they have that friendship. They have that respect for each other, not to put that public. Everything with Jerry Jones is always public. He always tries to be in that public all the time. Yeah. And that's not good as an owner. Sometimes you just got to fall back and just chill, you know?
All right. With that being said, we're about to run on time, so we're going to close this bad boy out. Make sure you check us out on YouTube, Gym Bag Entertainment. Check us out on Facebook at Gym Bag ENT. And on Instagram at gymbag_ENT, and Twitter #GymENT. We're going to be constantly bringing the content, and next week is going to be talking about the game itself. We are ready to go. We're excited for it. Big things are happening. We're also growing out Gym Bag Entertainment. We got more shows on the way. We got a hip hop show called Bring the Bars, which is going to be coming in early October, and we do have the idea of a wrestling show and a basketball show also in the works. So things are coming. We're trying to bring you guys as much content as possible for you, the fans, and for us as just having fun.
Don't be irked by all the alerts you're going to be getting now that football season's here, because we will be liking, sharing, subscribing. We will be putting it out there a lot. You're going to get a lot of content from us from this show and other shows that Craig got going on. Yeah. So just
we're taking this serious.
Share it, it's gonna step it up from here on out. We're gonna take it to the next level. We'll try to take it to the next level, and we appreciate all the fan support, all the love, and just keep it going.
Until next week, we'll see you in the end zone. Have a good night.